And welcome back to Across the Board with Ian, the Colonel, here on Hawk Radio, hawkradio.org. And I just love my job every day. What about you?
Yeah, I'd say so. When you get bands of the caliber that we have on, it makes it a lot easier.
It's incredible, right? And, one of my favorite bands and one of my favorite voices, singing voices of all time, Scott from the Clarks, is with us right now. Scott, how you doing today?
I'm good, Eric. Thank you. That's so kind of you to say that.
It's true, though. Yours is one of those distinct voices that you can hear, and obviously it's something that, helps carry the band as well. I mean, you guys are brilliant musically, but your voice is so noticeable, and so many good songs, too. That's the thing with you guys. It's hard to pick a favorite. I think Born Too Late is my favorite.
That's my favorite, too. That was, I think, my high water mark.
Yeah, it's an incredible song. What was the inspiration behind that? Obviously, the people mentioned in it were the inspiration, but why did you pick so many?
Well, Jimi Hendrix was actually the initial inspiration for that. I was sitting in my house one night about, I think that was 1999. I was single and just sitting around watching some TV. I was watching a documentary on Hendrix, and I was just struck by his genius. I thought, man, this, there are a lot of talented musicians, but there are sort of very few what I would call geniuses.
Sure.
I thought he was one of them. And I just, I was inspired. I picked up my guitar, and I had this idea where I would sort of name drop all these famous people over the years that you could sort of, you could know by just a first name or what have you. And so Jimmy it wasn't the first lyric, but he sort of was the inspiration for it. And I came up with Vincent, will you teach me how to paint? Mm-hmm. And I sometimes equate songwriting with putting together a puzzle. And as soon as I wrote that lyric, I knew how the puzzle was going to go.
Right.
Each line would be a different person and what they accomplished. And, it just kind of rolled from there. It was one of those songs where it only took about a half an hour to write because
wow,
it was easy and it just kind of flowed.
And you guys have done so much over the years to also do tribute to other people. You did a song for a Bruce Springsteen tribute album as well. You covered his "The River."
Right.
What was the decision to choose that song?
Well, to be honest with you, we were one of the last bands that they asked to be a part of that, and a lot of the ones that we were sort of familiar with, maybe sort of some of the more popular ones, or some of the more upbeat rock songs had already been taken. And it was Rob, our guitar player, who called me up and he said, hey, let's do The River, but let's make it a rock song. Let's not do it the way Bruce did it, which was very slow and sort of downbeat and, just not a real upbeat thing. So, and it was a great idea, and it really suited our style of rock and roll, and that's how that came about. As soon as we did it, we thought, boy, that's lightning in a bottle right there.
And the website is Clarks Online, and also, Scott, you're a distinguished solo artist as well. With scottblasey.com is the way to get in touch there. What goes into your writing process, I guess, with the Clarks as opposed to your own work? I mean, do you save certain emotions for your own work, certain sounds, or just whatever you're feeling at the time?
It's mostly whatever I'm feeling at the time. I tend to just write from the heart, and then whatever comes out, and then you sort of pick and choose, and you say, well, this is more of a Clark song, this is more of a solo tune. Mm-hmm. But there have been times, after my first daughter was born, I was living with my wife in Texas for a while, and I wrote a whole batch of songs really about starting a family, sort of moving away from Pennsylvania. I've since moved back, but I wrote a whole batch of tunes just really about that. And I knew, even though there might have been some up-tempo things in there, that really wasn't Clark's material.
Right. Very
personal. It turned into a solo record called Traveling On, which I call the family record. Mm-hmm. And but really, for the most part, it's just I write whatever's inside, and if the band likes it, then the band uses it. If the band's like, yeah, maybe not, then I try to use it somewhere in my solo project.
And great harmonies within the Clarks as well that you write for that music, and we really appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah, we've been together now for 25 years, and Rob and I have been singing together for a long time, and everybody's gotten to be pretty good singers over the years. So, well, thank you. I appreciate that. We try hard at that kind of stuff.
Now, I know the Colonel and I are both excited because we hope to see you guys this year coming to a nearby venue, the Bottle and Cork in Dewey Beach, Delaware. That's the closest to us, so we hope to make that soon. But where else are you touring this summer? Again, you're being heard all over the country, all over the world right now. Where can people keep up with where you guys are going?
Well, we, because of our family situations, Rob and I both have several small children. We don't travel like we used to.
Sure.
But we still manage to take a couple trips every year and hit a certain number of spots that people still want to come out and see us. We're going to probably do a little East Coast run at the end of the year. We'll go to New York City and probably Philadelphia and those places. But every summer we try to do a little beach run. Dewey Beach is going to be the closest for you guys.
Yeah.
And then we'll do a little Midwest run, do Chicago and places like that. But again, Clark's Online is probably the best place to find out where we're going to be. Western Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, West Virginia, those kind of places we hit pretty often. So if you're near there or can get near there, you'll be able to check us out.
Yeah, the Bottle and Cork is a great little venue if anybody's near there, for the summer. I have never seen you guys. Neither one of us have ever seen you live. Really looking forward to it because I have heard you're one of the best live bands in the entire country. Now, one of our regular listeners emailed in. She went to WVU, and she wants to know, I know this could start some controversy, she wants to know which fans are better, Pitt fans or WVU fans?
Oh, man, that's like picking between your children.
Just don't want to answer that one, right? Yeah. Pluses and minuses to both, right?
I don't know. That's a tough call because Pittsburgh is our hometown.
Right.
We get a lot of hometown love, but I'll tell you, there is something in the air in West Virginia, or I should say in the water, because whenever we play in Morgantown or Wheeling or any of those places, particularly WVU, it's just crazy. It's just it's that university down there, and we play at a club called 123 Pleasant Street, which is just one of those small college bars that holds a couple hundred people, and
right.
we pack them in, and we sometimes do 2 nights in a row, and it's just hot and sweaty and just a blast. I mean, honestly, every time I'm on stage down there, I say there's just something about West Virginia that people just go crazy for us, and I love it. So I have to honestly say it's a tie.
It's a good answer.
It's a fair answer.
People are going to hear this and say, what?
Right, exactly, yeah.
Now, for those that are living in the Pittsburgh area, there's a very special show coming up at the end of this month, the 25th anniversary show at Stage AE in Pittsburgh. Talk to us a little bit about that show, and is there going to be anything different done with that show than your normal shows?
Yes, this is going to be a really special show. This is our 25th year together. This is our 25th year together. We're playing this big show sort of to kick off the summertime. What we're going to do is sort of present a bit of a history of the band. Rob and myself have been doing acoustic shows since the band's inception, and I think we're going to kick off the night. We're not having another band open the show as sort of a traditional type of an opener. Instead, me and Rob are going to sort of open the show and really just sort of give a history of where it all started and how we started. And
kind of like storytellers.
What's that again?
Kind of like VH1 storytellers, that sort of format?
Absolutely.
Okay.
In fact, a local, very well-known local radio personality, Jimmy Kren from the DVE Morning Show, is going to be the MC. I think he's going to be a part of it. He may even be on stage asking questions. We're going to just give a history of the band and play some Cork's material that we really never, ever play. There'll probably be a couple of cover songs that we just never play for people, and we'll add Greg will come out, probably play a couple songs, and we had Rob's brother Ryan used to play percussion with us back in the day. He'll probably join us for a few, and we'll sort of just build it from there. It's going to be a long, fun evening. I'm really looking forward to it.
Now, one of the things that makes your band unique compared to most other bands that have been around as long as you guys have is you still have the same group, the same members. Talk to us about what it's like to have that process and what's made it that cohesive as a group.
Well, right. It's the same four guys that started the band in 1986. We all went to school at Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
IUP.
We started out really like a lot of other bands as a cover band. Just got together to basically to have fun, just to play in fraternity basements and for free beer and just to meet girls. Same four guys. It hasn't always been easy. Hasn't always been brotherly. There have been times when it's been difficult. There have been times when I think each of us has maybe wondered, is there something else to do? But I will say this: we've gone through so many things now together: birth, death. There's just the Clarks are the four of us, and honestly, if one of us left the band, it just wouldn't even continue on. It wouldn't be the Clarks anymore. It would have to be something different. Mm-hmm. We've since added two new guys in the last 2 years. We have a keyboard player with us now, Skip Sanders, who's phenomenal. Also plays a little electric guitar, sort of a multi-instrumentalist. And a pedal steel player, Gary Jacob, who's terrific. And
nice.
Adds a whole other dimension to the sound. And but it's been a great ride with the four guys. And yeah, it's been a really special thing to sort of share this journey with the same guys. You really become brothers in a lot of ways, and
sure.
I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Again, you're listening to Across the Board with Ian the Colonel and Scott from the Clarks here. Scott, what inspires you to select the cover songs that you have over the years? Started out kind of as a cover band and did a lot of U2 and some other bands. You also did the English beat, which I found an interesting choice. Now, we've had Dave Wakeling on the show, good friend of the show, hilarious guy. But what made you choose the English beat, for example?
Well, when we first started the band, it was the mid-'80s, so we were very much into sort of the new wave, if you will, English beat and the Pretenders, and at the time, U2 and REM were still very much sort of college bands, underground sort of college bands. And so, and the first semester that we did shows, we had a friend of ours who played saxophone in the band, so we actually had a sax player for a very short time. And so we did English beat because of the sax, and Joe Jackson and a couple other artists sort of featured that instrument. And we just loved the English beat. I think all of us just loved that band.
Yeah, they're amazing.
We're not really a ska band like they were, but we took a few of their songs that we loved, like Mirror in the Bathroom and Save It for Later.
Save It for Later, yeah.
And, decided to do a whole bunch of English beat covers. And I guess it's been about 10 years ago, I actually got to do a couple of shows with Dave Wakeling. We opened up for him in North Carolina on a couple of shows, and that was just magical. I remember sitting there watching him perform and listening to him do those songs, thinking, man, this is as good as it gets.
He's a character, too, isn't he?
He's really great.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised. You never know what you're going to run into when you meet sort of your heroes, but he was awesome.
Yeah, he was one of the best interviews we've ever had. Just a hilarious guy. I would love talking to him.
Very unpredictable.
And yeah, that's the truth. And you guys are from, like you said, Pennsylvania, Western Pennsylvania, graduates, all of you from IUP, right? All the original band members. And from what I understand, they actually named a recording studio there after you. Do you guys record a lot in that studio? Is that a factor?
We don't record in that studio. We actually helped fundraising for that studio. They redid their music building.
Outstanding.
A number of years back, and we did a show up there. It was a fundraiser, and we raised money to help finish the building, help with buying the equipment for that studio. So they were gracious enough to put our name on it, the Clarks Recording Studio in the music building, which was really an honor. And we also were honored by the university as a distinguished alumni. There's about 300 graduates of IUP who are distinguished alumni of the university, and we're four of them. And I always joke, I say I'm the distinguished alumni with the lowest grade point average.
I guess it's about what you accomplish afterwards, right? Not good at taking tests, I guess.
Right.
That's the excuse I use, at least.
Right. Some people test better than others.
Right, which I think just means I'm dumb. But now, Scott, you guys are still mainly an East Coast band as far as exposure. Do you plan to? I know you said you have family, and a lot of the guys in the band have family on the East Coast. Do you plan to do more touring on the West Coast or Canada, or go international at any point, or kind of sticking local for now?
Well, we sort of we're a little older now. We're all in our 40s. You know, we all have families. Sort of chasing the brass ring. We sort of did that. We were signed to MCA in the 90s.
Right.
And then we were on Razor and Tie, which is a really great independent label out of New York.
Yep.
We did a lot of touring in the 90s and the early part of 2000s. And, you know, sort of went for it then. Didn't quite happen as big as we would have liked. Maybe it would have been nice to have a hit single on the radio all over the country. You know, we kind of came close with a few songs, Born Too Late, Better Off Without You, and a few like that. So to answer your question, I don't anticipate going out west anytime soon because of my family situation. But I can see a day in the future when my kids are a little older, when we say, hey, let's do a little 2-week run and just get a bus and go to L.A. and go to San Francisco and go to Denver and go to Dallas and all those places sort of west of the Mississippi. And we have a lot of fans all over the country. One thing that's happened with you know, Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania and the trend now has been reversed, but in the past 20, 25 years, a lot of people left this area for greener pastures, better jobs, better weather, what have you.
Yeah, warmer weather for sure.
So there are a ton of Pittsburgh people all over the country, and when we go to L.A. or we go to San Francisco, I mean, I'm amazed at how many people come out wearing Steeler jerseys and, you know, that kind of stuff. So I would imagine we will get back out there at some point, but the days of us sort of touring extensively in order to build our fan base, I think, are over. These days we sort of try to build it via the internet and word of mouth and stuff, and are happy if, you know, we go to Chicago and play for 500 or 600 people in a little sold-out club. We still have a lot of fun doing that. So, but you never say no.
So, Scott, are you heartbroken now that the Steelers didn't quite get it done this year, or?
I've gotten over it. I think you know, I'm a diehard Steeler fan, but you know, obviously there are things in life that are way more important than sports. And,
like Primanti Brothers?
What's that?
I said like Primanti Brothers sandwiches.
Primanti Brothers, exactly. There's food, there's family and stuff. But I was sad, but I got over it pretty fast. You know, we've been very fortunate with the Steelers. You sort of get spoiled a little bit, you know. We've won 6 Super Bowls and won just a couple of years ago. So, you know, I wasn't too bummed out. I think if we'd had a long 20-year drought and then lost it, I think I would have been a little more disappointed. But in all honesty, I was happy to see the Green Bay Packers win. It's a class organization. We have a lot of friends in Wisconsin. We used to play up there all the time, up in Appleton and Green Bay and Milwaukee and stuff. So I have a lot of good friends up there. I was happy to see the Packers win. I guess if there's any other team in the league that I would like to see win besides the Steelers, it's the Packers.
Yeah, I'm actually getting ready to take a trip up to Madison here shortly and go check out that area.
Yeah, the Colonel's a big Green Bay fan.
And I am a Green Bay fan. Not trying to rub it in or anything. But,
yeah, I love it up there. Wisconsin was always one of my favorite places to tour. The fan base up there was just so rabid and just wonderful to us. We have a lot of good friends from there.
Scott, 25 years with the Clarks, you know, longer than that in the business and writing music. What's your favorite moment? You know, if you had one moment to live over and over again, what would that be, musically or in your personal life?
Well, my personal life, certainly getting married and having children is really head and shoulders above anything else that's happened to me. It's a life-changing experience. I feel very, very blessed where I am in my life. So that would have to be number one on the list. But certainly musically, standing on stage at the Ed Sullivan Theater on the David Letterman show.
Absolutely.
Back in 2004. Really, after our career had peaked, we were a little older, and I think a little better able to appreciate the moment and just really enjoy that. That was magical. We took our wives and we made a 2 or 3 day trip out of it, and we did the show, which they tape early in the day around 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all went out and had dinner, and we found ourselves a little bar and told the bar owner, and he put it on the big TV and just sat there and had a couple of cocktails. And
how cool is that?
Watched ourselves on the Late Show with David Letterman, and that was a special day that I'll never forget.
That's incredible. That's a great moment to relive. What can we expect in the coming future then, Scott? More Clark CDs, more solo CDs? What are we looking forward to?
Both of those things. We did a little project last year where we sort of rehashed a couple of older Clark songs for our fans. We did them in a different style. And it really made me start to itch for writing new material and getting back into the studio with the Clarks and doing another Clarks record. The last one we released was Restless Days in 2009, and it turned out great. And Greg, our bass player, writes a lot, and I know he's working on a solo project right now, and I'll probably do another solo record in the next couple of years, but I'd like to do another Clarks record. Our fans really thrive on new material from us.
Yeah.
I think it's really important moving forward to have new stuff, new CDs. It's fun to play our live shows and have that nostalgia and play all the old stuff, but really the thing that reinvigorates the four of us is new material. So I'm sure we'll do another record in the next, probably within the next 2 years or so.
That's great news. That's what we like to hear. But again, a compliment to your band is that your music still stands the test of time. I always look forward to new Clark's music, but I could listen to the old stuff over and over again, and it never gets old. It never seems dated. And you guys sound just as good today as you did back then. So, we appreciate that consistent quality and you guys putting that hard work into it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. We've always tried to just do what we felt was natural. We've never followed styles or trends or anything, and we've always just tried to make good rock and roll, which, it's just not the popular style of music these days, but there's a lot of people out there that still love good guitar-based rock and roll, good songwriting. I always say that good songs, regardless of genre, good songs are going to reach people, and that's what we try to do.
Absolutely. It's genuine rock and roll, and there's so little of that out there, I'll tell you. I think it's another thing that resonates with the music that you guys have. So, again, Clark's Online. These guys are out this summer. Check them out. Again, the live show is supposed to be incredible. I can't wait until you guys come to our area and we can check it out.
I wish I could go see the 25th anniversary show. That sounds like it would be an absolute blast.
Yeah, if there are tickets still available, go out and see that as well, and stay in touch with these guys. You guys are on Facebook as well, Twitter, all of that, right?
Yep, absolutely. Got to change with the changing time.
That's right. It's crazy, isn't it? I'll tell you.
We started out putting together paper mailers and literally writing down people's names and addresses on the paper mailers and putting a stamp on it. And a couple hundred people, and it's turned into 40,000 Facebook friends or what have you. Pretty cool stuff.
How much easier would it have made your life having Facebook and Twitter 25 years ago?
I don't know. It's funny. I had a young musician, budding musician, 21 years old, asked me, how did you get started? And I wrote him an email. I said, honestly, it's so different now.
Right.
I wouldn't even know how to begin, tell you where to start. And I said, I guess the way to start is to accumulate Facebook friends and get on
YouTube.
Twitter and just get the word out. And obviously, you have to have a good live show. You have to give something to people that they can connect with. Networking is great, but if you can't do it live, if you can't put it out there every night or every couple of nights, then you're really swimming upstream.
Absolutely. The Clarks, Scott, again, thank you so much for your time. Listeners, go out, check these guys out, support genuine rock and roll and great bands. Stay behind these guys, throw your money behind these guys for sure. This is Across the Board with Ian the Colonel. We'll be back in just a few minutes here on Hawk Radio.
HawkRadio.org.